Hello and welcome to Greetingstar. I'm so glad you could join me today. Here's a look at the card that I'll be making for you today. And I'm going to be using a mink laminator. You can use any laminator that you might have. And these are the papers that I'm going to be foiling. They have snowflake designs on them. And I'm going to use this beautiful rainbow foil from Deco. And I was also going to use the opal, but I didn't show that in this project. And then here's a look at some silver that I did use as well, and that came with the mink, but you can get that from Deco as well. So I'm just going to, before I foil these, I'm going to cut them down and trim them. You can see that there's a edge, a printing edge border there, so I'm just trimming that off, and when I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead and trim the paper down as well, so it'll be a little bit smaller. You can see here I'm just using my craft mat to measure that. So I'm going to cut it at 5 inches because it's 10 inches in length, and then I'm going to trim these off and measure it again, and then decide where the midpoint should be. So that's why I'm using my craft mat to help me make that decision where to cut it. So you can do the same thing with yours. Now I did create these papers using a free program called Inkscape, and it's basically just like Adobe Illustrator, a drawing program where you can create lots of beautiful designs yourself on your computer. And then I printed it out on this colored cardstock using a laser printer. If you use an inkjet printer, your foil won't work. You have to use the laser printer because it has that specific kind of I can't think of the name of it now, but it's not an inkjet ink. It's a different kind of ink, and that will react with the foil when it's heated, and then the foil will stick to it. So you have to use a laser printer to do that. And I did put up the page up on my website at greetingstar.org. So if you would like to print out your the beautiful snowflake background, you can certainly do so, and you can even use your computer program like Word or something like that to change the color of it if you don't have a laser printer, so you can still use it, or you can use it in your digital scrapbooking or however you'd like. That will be over there again at greetingstar.org for you. So you can see here I'm just putting it through the laminator here, and I like to put it through twice because I want to make sure that I get a good foil. And I've also got it on a fairly high setting, I think a 4 or a 5. And then when I'm done with that, you'll be able to see the beautiful effect. I really love the rainbow foil. It's quite beautiful. The silver looks pretty nice too. So, and I know that there's lots of specialty foils out there, like a glitter foil and different things like that. So, basically, you can do whatever you want. Again, your only limit is your own imagination. So I hope you will give this card a try. It's lots of fun, and I love the result, and I hope you will too. Okay, so in a minute here, I'm going to do the reveal. I just let it cool down for a second. So this is the silver one, and here's the beautiful foil. That's so gorgeous, I think. Look at all those colors, just so pretty. I thought it was perfect. So now I'm going to move on to finishing the rest of my card, and I'm going to use this die set here by Avriel just to create a snowbank. And this is some specialty sparkly glitter paper. It's from Cricut, I believe. So anyway, you can get glitter paper anywhere. But I'm using a top folding A2 sized card, and I'm going to adhere that background to the base of to the card, and then I'm going to stamp this snowman using this Stays On opaque white ink. And the reason I'm using that is because this is a glitter paper, and I want it to be able to dry on the paper. That Stays On will work on lots of different surfaces. So I'm just going to get this out here and add some of that ink to it to make sure that it is primed and ready to go. These ink pads do have a tendency, if they've sat around for a while, you probably need to re-ink them so you get a good impression. So I'm just doing that now, and you'll be able to see in a moment that it works quite well on the glitter paper. So I'm going to stamp this snowman, and this is just like a dollar stamp that I got at Michael's or something. So feel free to just use whatever you have in your stash. And then I'll trim that out a little bit later. I'm not going to leave it square. And I'm just using this stamp cleaner to clean my stamp off. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and assemble the card. I'm going to adhere it using this tape adhesive here. Now I did decide to put the adhesive on the card base instead of the card panel there, because the card panel is a tiny bit bigger, and I'm going to have to trim that down. You'll see that here in just a moment. But there I go. See the scissors? I'm just going to have to trim that a little bit because it's a little bit bigger than the card itself. I had to trim the card down a little bit before because it was kind of uneven and wonky, so that's why it didn't fit. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the beautiful foil to this, and I really think it's gorgeous. I just love it. And then here is the snowbank that I created using that Avriel die set. Now this is a stamp set from Oriental Trading. I ordered it online. They don't have it anymore, so you know, you can use a different greeting that you might have in your stash. I can recommend one for you. It's from Hero Arts, and I'll show you that in just a second. But right now I'm just deciding where I'm going to lay this stamp out on that snowbank and if it'll fit and so on and so forth. I think I actually did cut another snowbank that was a little bit taller to make sure that that greeting would fit on it, which you'll see here in just a moment. Yep, I did. I cut it. It's a little bit taller. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that same opaque white Stays On ink to stamp this greeting, the Christmas blessing. It's quite nice, I think. And I think it shows up quite well in the light. It's quite pretty. So I like that a lot. And then I'm just going to trim this little snowman, do some fussy cutting around to cut him out, and then pop him on my card. You do have to let the Stays On ink dry for, I don't know, at least 5 minutes, maybe even more. Just test it before you start to use it, because you don't want to smear the ink. So now I'm just going to adhere this to my card base, and my card will be complete. So I hope you enjoyed watching today, and please don't forget to share this card, like it, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, and have a beautiful day, and Merry Christmas. Oh, here is the stamp set that you can use. This is from Hero Arts at CL 498. So that's another one that you could use if you'd like to.